Happy Monday, people, and welcome back to another video. Today is a what sold video. I'm doing this video because I want to tell you how Vinted have actually sold more items for me this weekend than eBay. For the first time ever in my reselling career, Vinted have outperformed the biggest selling platform in the world. And I never thought that would happen. I'm not saying that they're all brilliant sales on Vinted, but in the end of the day, they've sold more than eBay. So we're going to go through all the sales, some good ones, some surprising ones, and yeah, some pretty, like, what's the point of even selling them, you know? And they're on Vinted, because if I'd have sold them on eBay, yeah, I would have been in minus money. We're going to go with eBay first because there is less items to do. First thing that sold on eBay was the Star Wars Interceptor. You saw that on Friday, so we don't really need to talk about that. Another thing that I've already posted was a Wilson American football. I've had it for quite a while, but it did sell for $19.99. As it's Christmas, anything Christmas related usually does sell. And I have sold the other John Lewis Venus flytrap. I've had them for over a year. I actually didn't sell them last year, but both of them are sold within a week of each other. I sold this for like £6.39, I think. I had a little sale on remaining items. I think there's about 10 items I could have had a sale on. So that was actually sold in the sale. Another item that sold in the sale was this Game of Life for $11.99. I always pick up board games, especially certain ones, because they do fetch good money. I think this was on for £15, but obviously in the sale, it got reduced down to $11.99. So a nice little sale there. As you can see on my table, I've got a nice chrome bread maker. I sold another one, and this is what I was talking about yesterday. I need to start getting into stuff that, you know, not just looks cool for videos. I need to get stuff that actually makes me good money. And this year, bread makers have made me some good money. I have sold virtually every single bread maker I've bought within a month of buying it. And again, I've had this for less than a month and I sold it. I think I've got one more bread maker which I haven't listed. So today, after this video, I'm going to list that, because bread makers are a stable little earner. And next year, I'm going to be stacking up on these things because they just sell so easily. So something I suggest if you're not selling old items, and that is delisting them and then like revamping them up and then listing them again. I did that with these. They're called Top 10. Really nice. Nothing wrong with them at all. Nice tread. I sold these for $24.99. I had it on for $34.99, but they just wasn't selling. So I lowered them by 10, obviously relisted them, and in the same day they sold. And the last sale on eBay was last night, and it was the Punisher game for the PS2. Picked it up from the jumbo sale. You know, the jumbo sale where there was a lot of games, and I really should have just bought them all. Yep. This one is sold. Paid £1 for it, and it sold for $15.99. So that is eBay done with. Now on to Vinted. First item is this brand new Carnation punch bowl set. It is brand new because obviously I checked it. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a vintage one. I picked this up for £5 and I sold it for £26. Above it was this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shell. It's an original one. You can get copies and you got to be careful of that. The copies are not worth much, but these are the original ones from Nickelodeon. I sold this on Vinted for £10. And next to it is the pig from Moana. I was really shocked this didn't sell straight away. It's taken a week since the film came out, but finally it sold. I was thinking, this has to sell now, and it did. It sold for £7, and I think I paid £1 for it. Sticking with Disney is a Sully talking pull string, like sort of weird thing. You hold it there, you pull the string, and his arms move up and down, his mouth moves, and yeah. It's pretty cool. Sold it for £6. I think I only paid a quid or 50p for that. The next item is this. I've already sold this and it was brand new. But what happened was, because it's a vintage photo album, and these are the ones where it's like sticky. You lift these pieces of like paper or plastic up and then you stick your photo in there. What happened was, she opened it up and the first page wasn't sticky, so she didn't want it. She just didn't want it. So I just had it back, obviously, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to sell it on Vinted because I'm not going to get much for it. I sold it for £4. I think I only paid about 50 to £1 on this, so I'm still going to make profit out of it. Next item is this little pirate ship with a couple of figures. It's actually from a film. I can't remember. Comment down below if you know the film. Anyway, it owes me £1.50, but I'm not even going to class it as owing me anything. I picked it up from this house. It was like basically selling all her stuff, like toys, straight in front of her house because she was moving house. And it's where I picked up all that Horrid Henry stuff and loads of like cake toppers, plushes, and I made a small fortune out of them. Literally, they cost me about £1 and I was making like 50, 60 quid. I think I made about 160 quid off £2 through the Horrid Henry stuff. Absolutely crazy. This was in one of the boxes with the big Horrid Henry and stuff like that, and it was like the box was £5. So picked up the box, this was in it. Wasn't really bothered about this because obviously I knew Horrid Henry was in there, which is worth a bit. So it really doesn't owe me anything, but if you want to be picky, it owes me £1.50. Well, I sold it for £3 because one, it's a bit like grotty on the back, and it's absolutely worth it. It's got a little button there, and it like makes some like noises. But I've doubled my money on it, and I've made loads anyway from that actual little clearance outside that house. So yeah, two more sales which I can't remember if I told you about, which are sold on Friday, and that was the Optimus Primus Transformer, the Gorilla. I sold that for £10, and I sold some Trackmaster Thomas the Tank Engines, a bundle of 3, and some like carriages for £10. The Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, the whole bundle cost me £5. So I've already made my money back on it, and I've already sold another one as well. So yeah, I'm up in profit on that. But the main sale of the weekend is these, and I mentioned these in one of the other videos, and people were just saying get rid of them, somebody will buy them. I went to a cobbler and said, can you fix these? And they basically said no, because they're molded onto the actual sole with a heat mold, and you can't just glue them because they'll just come apart. I've been on videos and he was telling the truth, but there is ways of still fixing them. Anyway, something strange happened. On the Saturday, these sold for £65 on Vinted. No haggling, straight away bought the items. Didn't even have to wait. I literally checked my phone and these are sold. I was like, what? And I was like, oh, here we go. And straight away, I was in panic because I thought they haven't read the description. I messaged this person straight away because I didn't want the person to buy them thinking, wow, this is cheap, because these are the top grade ones. These are the pro version. So this is why I'm selling them for that much. Even though they're like this, you know what I mean? They are very, very good. And I really don't know how they have came apart at the front. It looks like the person who had them bought them for the wrong actual ground, and that's why these actually fall apart. If you have got certain boots and you're using them for a certain pitch, so certain boots are made for football pitches, certain boots are made for 3G, 4G, so on and so on. He said to me, yeah, I know all the problems. How bad is it? And I went, it's the tips. They can be fixed, sort of, if you glue them. I sent him links to a YouTube channel which he has actually done it to his ones, and they're fine. He's even said that they're still working fine now. You just got to be patient. 72 hours, gluing them, and then taping them all down, like so, like that, and then leave them for 72 hours. And then, hopefully, they'll be fine. Thing about Vinted, by the time he gets it and puts all the glue on, fiddles around with them and all that lot, he won't even be able to have a refund. But I said to myself that if he comes back and they do fall apart, I'm going to send him one of the other pair of football boots, the ones that are not falling apart at the sole, ones that are just a bit tired, and he can have them. Anyway, the big deal about Vinted outselling eBay, well, it's true. I sold 9 items on Vinted over the weekend. That's Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And only 7 on eBay. So this weekend, I've actually done better on Vinted. And you're going to say, oh, well, what about the sales? It's all about the money and all that. Well, I'm going to tell you. As you know me, I have my piece of paper. On Vinted, I made £141. Obviously, this is without taking off what the items cost. On eBay, I made £182 and some pennies. So I actually did make more money on eBay, but there is more deductions to come off eBay. And remember, one of them was the Star Wars one. I didn't really make that much money off the Star Wars one. After all the fees and deductions, I'm coming around about 30 quid, 25, 30 quid profit mark. Yeah, that's one thing I hope next year that eBay change, because the fees are absolutely killing me when it comes to big priced items. When you buy quality items like that Star Wars thing, it seems to not be worth it. So I sold an item for £80. And when you sell something for that much, you want a nice bit of profit, right? You want a nice bit of profit. I haven't made hardly no money on that. In a way, it was pretty pointless even me buying that. I was hoping they would sell on Vinted, but it didn't. If I'd have sold this on Vinted for £80, I would have made myself 50 quid. And this is one of the things that really doesn't get me angry, but gets me a bit annoyed when it comes to these 90-day totals and that. They mean absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I could sell a lot of items like that. 80 quid here, 80 quid there. My 90-day total would be absolutely awesome. But am I actually making loads of money? No, I'm not, because I'm making 25 quid. So when it comes to 90-day totals, don't even bother thinking, wow, that's amazing, unless the person is showing everything about the sales, everything about how much the items cost, and then you can go wow to them. For instance, big shout out to Jamie Dodger. He's one you can say, when he got that 20 grand total over 9 days, yeah, he's made some proper profit on that, because we all see where he gets his trainers from, and they're from like Vinted, and he never spends more than 15 quid. So you know there's only going to be a maximum 15 quid come off each trainer, and most of them are 5 to 10 quid. So when it comes to a person like that, you've got to believe him. But others, well, we don't know about, do we? But like I said, 90-day totals don't mean nothing unless they prove it. But Vinted is definitely stepping up this game. I don't know the difference on the whole week. I might actually put that in the video tomorrow. Just, randomly put that in and just say, guess what the actual totals last week were. Vinted this much and eBay this much. But tomorrow, got a few items at the auction, so I'm gonna go and bid on them. I don't think I'm gonna actually go there, but yeah, there's a nice camera there, so I'm thinking about going for that one. Other than that, it's back to listing. I have done most of my toys. I think I got some LOL dolls. I spent like 30 quid on a massive box of LOL dolls with closets and clothing and everything, a man's worst nightmare. But they do fetch for a lot of money, so I need to get them on. And after that's done, I'm going to check if there's any more toys around, and then, yeah, this week is full on tech week. So, yeah, all the consoles, they'll be going on first. Gonna list that Sonic game, and I'll be showing you everything on the way. So, thank you for watching if you're still watching. If you are watching it, say Punisher.